I'm back now with data fully scrubbed, or really close to it. Just want to show you what this should sort of look like. So there should be no missing boxes here, at least evident on this screen. I have no more 499999. Those are all gone. No more placeholders. No more yellow background. No more thing that says placeholder. Everything's fully linked. Looking pretty good. Um, I have 26 observations here. I wanted to put a decent amount of data in here so you all could follow what's going on. A typical data set for a main building like this would probably be bigger than this, at least 50 observations, maybe 80 or 100, especially for a facility dude project where we're on the hook for full inventory of MEP equipment. But I didn't enter anything. Again, this is a kind of a theoretical data set just to show you enough of what's going on. One other note here while I've got you, um, report section. As said in an earlier module, report section is kind of going away with the new master. Everything's going to be uniformat code. So just to show you what that might look like, these old report sections are getting phased out. There is going to be a transition period where they're still around. What did I do there? Go back and mess with. I'm moving around. Sorry, guys. The columns, uniformat code. Here it is. Here, let me sort by that. So this is going to replace this as far as the sort mechanism. And it's definitely going to shuffle some things around, especially site that used to be first is going to go last. That's kind of the major thing. Also, plumbing is going to come before HVAC. All these studies are going to go to the end. Structure is going to come first. Anyway, it just takes some getting used to it. You'll get used to it. Let me go to, there are just a couple things I didn't fully edit. So that was the data at the main building level. Let me go to the first floor, which does have some data in it. One last thing to look for, didn't mention this earlier, is this exclamation point in the second column. Boom. Whenever you see this, this is kind of a signal that your data isn't complete, in addition to those other things I showed you. So this is an obvious one. It was a placeholder exclamation point. So this data would need to be, let's finish this off. This is a water heater. Let me say here, 100 gallons. Gas. Slide down to here, gas commercial, 60 to 120 gallons. At about 10 grand, that's the very common one. So that's there. Let's call it fair. Let's call it life cycle. Let's say it's about 7 years old with 8 years left. Okay, let me show you something here too. I kind of fumbled around with Teledyne Lars. It is in here. It's just under Lars. There it is. I wasn't crazy. And then you could just enter that stuff here. Time-wise, I'm not going to do that. Just know you have to do that. Get rid of the needs review box. Save changes. So now all this data looks scrubbed. And the last place that we put data was in the cafeteria subfolder. There, boom. There's another exclamation point. There's a better example because this one's not obvious. This one kind of looks like it's done. So what's going on there? See if there's any error messages at the bottom. There's not. So not quite sure why this This one isn't satisfied that it's finished. Maybe because it was defaulted over with that needs review comment. Also don't want to. It might also have something to do with, we're calling this kind of failed, or at least poor, and it's showing up as it probably has to do with an immediate need and a fair condition. That might have something to do with it. I'm not sure all the rules that our developers wired in, but that's good stuff. So it is an immediate need. Let's call it poor performance. Effective age more like 14. Save changes. Comments need to be up here in the public box. So yeah, last point I wanted to illustrate. When you fill in comments in the app, under the comments box, they go to internal. We kind of did that to protect ourselves, because when you write notes, you're often not writing in full grammatically correct sentences. And we wanted the comments to come over, but not go to some place where the client might see them if you forgot to edit them. So the compromise is they're going to this box. You can either pretty it up and edit what you have and paste it over here, or if you did take the time to fully write out good stuff, there's no reason you can't quickly do the Control X, Control V trick and move it from this box to that box. Let me save that up. Close this, and the exclamation point is gone. The machine is happy. Your data looks like it's finished.